I'm diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder, and I take medication, I go to therapy, and I do lifestyle changes in order to treat it, and I do believe I manage it successfully pretty often. So this person is asking, what lifestyle changes have you made? How often do you go to therapy? What is the goal of therapy? And does therapy help you? And that is quite the comment, but we'll see how many of them we can get to in this video. So the first thing is lifestyle changes. The biggest one I've made is that I walk regularly, and I walk probably like 4 to 5 miles at a time. I either do it at a local mall with my dad, or I do it out in nature with my mom. I kind of mix it up and try to do a little bit with each of them so that I can not only spend time with my parents, but also have a change of scenery when it comes to walking. And I've noticed that my anxiety is lower. I just generally feel good. And when I go on vacation, I can walk 15 to 20 miles in a day and be totally fine. And I think that's kind of a flex. So I'm kind of proud of myself for being able to do that. The other lifestyle change I've made is that I prioritize sleep. I go to bed around the same time every night and I wake up around the same time every morning. And I make sure I do things leading up to sleep that encourage deep sleep. And there's really two things I do is I utilize dark therapy, which is like I put on these amber glasses that trick my brain into thinking the sun's going down. And then that kind of starts the melatonin production. And then I'm able to like go to sleep and have restful sleep because it's more of a regulated circadian rhythm. And then the other thing is I have an acupressure mat, which is like a modern day bed of nails. I lay on that. That also calms me down and sets me up for good sleep. And so between the two of those, I have really good sleep. And when you have really good sleep, your mental illness is pretty calms down a little bit for sure, especially if it's like a bipolar style condition, which is like what the type of schizoaffective disorder I do have. The next thing talked about how often do I go to therapy? So I have been known to go to therapy multiple times in a week, but I've also been known to go every 3 weeks. It just depends on what I'm going through at the time. So sometimes it'll be every week if I'm really going through it, and then maintenance level, like when things are really good, it's every 3 weeks. I don't know if I'll ever do any less frequently than 3 weeks. Like 3 weeks is really pushing it, but I do really well with the 2 week period and the 3 week period for like maintenance stuff. So it just depends. So what is the goal of therapy? The goal of therapy is to manage my mental illnesses. So I deal with the bipolar type of schizoaffective disorder. It has a lot of problems that come with it, and she helps me deal with that. And the other disorder I have that causes me a lot of distress is my obsessive compulsive disorder. So she helps me treat. She treats the obsessive compulsive disorder with a type of therapy called exposure and response prevention, or ERP. So she's super helpful with that. And does therapy help me? Yeah, therapy helps me. It saved my life. I've been in therapy for like well over 15 years, and it helps me a lot. So yeah. All right, I got all the questions.